Hey guys, so I decided I wanted to start a video podcast because in the past I've done videos trying to spread positivity and upliftment to others, and I got some really good feedback how it helped people, and I really wanted to start a channel that was dedicated to doing that on a regular basis. So I plan on doing these videos, hopefully at least a couple times a week, just to put out as much out there as possible to help people that might be going through things, need a little upliftment, because I do that sometimes. I watch videos that uplift me and help me get through like difficult times. So it'd be really cool to do something like that and give back to others. Looking forward to doing this channel, and it's actually going to be pretty interesting. So I'm going to do a combination of a few things. So I'm going to have the motivational part of it and upliftment and everything like that. But I'm also going to have some supernatural stuff in there. A little bit of like a collective spirituality, the universe, and how we have the power within us to create, just like Source or the universe does. And talking about that, helping people tap into the power that's within all of us. So that's really exciting because I have some stories to tell you guys about that. Kind of manifested a lot of things by accident because I wasn't focused. But once I started focusing, it's really cool. I actually manifest a lot of good things in my life. So I just want to help others do the same, because I've been through a lot in my life, just like most people. And watching these videos, learning about the power that's within all of us, really helped me grow and really push through all of the difficult things that I was going through. So that's what I would like to do for you guys, is to help you learn to tap into that power, and also still give you some really scary stories about encounters that I've had, a lot of supernatural things. I definitely have a lot of plans for this channel, and I'm excited to do it, and I hope you guys are too. Just something I've always wanted to do because I really enjoy doing videos. It's just work schedule, personal life, it's hard to do it, but now I'm really wanting to set time aside to do this regularly. So I'm excited. But so that's a little bit talking about what my vision is for this channel. But those of you that don't know me, I would like to do a intro video talking about who I am and why I'm talking about these things. So to start off, my name's Shane Anderson. I am a witch. I was actually raised Wiccan at a very young age, and my mom didn't force me into learning it. She was already practicing it when I was born. She was raised as Catholic, but then switched to Wiccan because it resonated more with her, and with it being a very nature-based religion, she felt very in tune with it. So, and I got some cool stories to tell you about all that later. But at a young age, she asked us, me, my brother, and sister, if we would like to practice it, and the three of us did. I was the one that stuck out with it the longest, and then my mom and I still practiced rituals together, full moons and everything. But the nice thing about it is it's something that there's no right or wrong way to do it. So everyone practices their own way. And honestly, like, I did things with my mom for a while, Wiccan practices, and eventually I started just kind of venturing off into my own path and doing my own practices. And the cool thing is I actually take bits and pieces from other religions and spiritual practices that I've learned over the years of studying and researching. And you know, I don't think there's a right and wrong answer for religion. I think it's just whatever resonates with you is right for you. And that's how I felt with Wicca. Took what resonated, but I kind of ventured off into my own path and started to pick up pieces from other spiritual practices and just took what resonated with me. And honestly, that was huge, because a lot of religions and spiritual practices, they all kind of say very similar things. And so whatever feels right to me, I incorporate into what I believe. So I kind of built like my own interpretation of the universe. I don't use the term God just because it has different meanings for people. And for me, like, I don't want to necessarily say God. I say the universe or source, which is like the creator of everything. And again, it's no right or wrong if you guys decide to say God. Not what I prefer. I prefer the universe. I believe we're all pieces of the universe, sparks, and we're here as creators, and we have the ability to create anything that we want to create, whether it be good or bad. We have the choice to decide. And obviously I always try to decide good. I try to spread positivity and love and kindness anywhere that I can. Growing up, that was a huge thing for me. It taught me a lot of good lessons. Researching other religions and spiritual practices opened the doors to other possibilities of what's out there. Again, I don't think one way's right and one way's wrong. Everyone's open to their own beliefs. The nice thing is no matter what you believe, I feel like it does bring you closer to God, the source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And over the years, I've really built a strong connection with the universe, and I had some pretty cool encounters, manifestations, signs, synchronicities, all kinds of things. And I have a lot to tell you guys with all of that, so I'm really excited to get into all this. But again, this is an intro video, so I don't want to get too deep into it. So getting back to me, practicing Wicca as I got older, I think helped me mature as an adult and really learn how the universe worked, how society worked. And I learned a lot of good lessons from it. And stemming from that, I began to help people in any way that I could. And if people asked what I believed, I told them. I told them that I was a witch. And a lot of people freaked out and said, like, oh my God, I'm like, it's not that. It's not what Hollywood made it out to be. It's not what you see in movies or TV shows where witches worship the devil and it's all evil and hexes and spells and bad things happening to people. Like, it's none of that. Like I always tell people, witches are just like any other human. You have the good and the bad. It's just whoever you encounter. Everyone's their own person. There's a lot of witches that do a lot of good. They use their abilities, some people call them powers, and knowledge to heal and help people. That's what I try to do. I try to learn natural remedies. My favorite that I learned from my mom as a kid was anytime we would get like cuts or scrapes or burns, we would wash it really well and then go and put honey on it. And I always thought it was weird as a kid. I was like, why are we putting honey on an open wound? And I sorry if my mom's listening, but I kind of thought she was a little crazy. I'm like, I'm just going to wash this off and put like Neosporin on it or something. But come to find out as an adult, there's actually scientific evidence that backs it as a natural antiseptic and wound healing. And I was like, wow, okay, so my mom wasn't crazy. But like stuff like that, and I still use that today. I will get honey if I have a cut. I will put honey on it and everything, and it heals so much faster and usually provides like minimal scarring. So useful tip if you guys get a cut or anything like that. Manuka honey is the best properties for it. And no, Manuka honey doesn't sponsor this video. Just telling you which is the best to get. But yeah, as an adult, like finding out that a lot of the things I learned as a kid are actually quite useful being older. And one of the things I learned to tap into is the ability to create. By doing that, I actually carry stones with me everywhere. I have a little pouch And I'll do that throughout the videos. I'll show off my crystals that I have. I have a lot of crystals. Mostly labradorite. Labradorite's my favorite. And you'll probably see me wear the labradorite gauges at some point. My absolute favorite. Every time I go to the crystal shops, I actually have to stop buying labradorite because that's most of my collection now. So I'm trying to do other crystals, but labradorite's my absolute favorite. And it has good properties too. One of the main ones that I love is the enhanced intuition and psychic abilities, because I actually do get visions and premonitions and dreams of the future, things that I've dreamt about and I remember dreaming about end up happening later on in my life. Still learning how to control that and tap into it, but it does enhance the abilities. And you know, I've freaked out my friends a couple times by like predicting what was going to happen next, and you know, like the phone would ring and I'm like, oh, it's so and so, and they would answer and be like, how did you know it was them? And I was like, I don't know, it just came to me, you know. And you know, I would do that back to back and kind of freak them out a little bit and stuff like that. It's cool to see it in action because it sounds like fairy tale stuff and it sounds like stuff that's only in books or movies, but I'm here to tell you that this stuff's real. And I mean that in a good way, not in a bad way. The thing is anyone can learn how to harness these abilities and do good things with them. The nice thing is even if somebody was to try to use this stuff for personal gain or to impose on somebody's free will, which isn't possible, which is what I'm telling you, is the good thing is if somebody tried to use these abilities for bad, there are things in place that will prevent it. So even if I was to do a spell to make somebody do something, the thing is that spell wouldn't necessarily work in the way that I think it would, because I don't have the ability to force somebody to do something. They have the ability to choose whether they do it or not. So there are some safety things in place to prevent people from misusing this stuff, which is why I'm willing to share it with you, because I know you guys would use it for good, and it's very fascinating. I mean, growing up as a kid, hearing all these fairy tales of witches, wizards, werewolves, fairies, vampires, like that stuff always fascinated me, and I never knew why. And I think now I know why, because I had a feeling that this stuff was real. It wasn't just imaginary. The nice thing is that people can learn to use it for good, and that's why I'm excited to share it with you guys. I've always kept this stuff to myself because I was like, people are gonna think I'm crazy, that I'm a witch and I believe in werewolves and vampires and magic and spells and visions and all that, but I'm just telling you what I've seen. So you're welcome to believe whatever you want to believe. I'm just saying this stuff's fascinating, and if you find it fascinating like I think you do, you'll definitely want to watch this channel because there's going to be a lot of stuff you can learn from it. One of the other things that I've been practicing is manifesting through journaling. It's a very powerful technique, and it's actually scientifically proven that people that focus on something so much, they tend to believe it. And when you believe it, there's power behind that because you are a creator. And when you focus your intention and your beliefs into something, you manifest it. So that's why you have to be careful what you focus on. So many people focus on bad things happening in their life and they wonder why bad things keep happening in their life. Well, what are you focusing on? The bad things. You start focusing on the good things in your life, because I've come to learn that no matter what's going on in life, there's always something to be grateful for and thankful for. It could be something as simple as my health. It could be something as simple as I get to have my favorite food, my favorite drink. I get to see my favorite person. I get to see the sunrise. I get to walk to my favorite bookstore. It could be I get to see adorable pets and play with them. You know, anything you could think of. The fact that you're here learning about something new and exciting that really steps out of the realm of the normal, which nothing's normal, honestly. It's just what we perceive as normal. Because honestly, this is normal for me. Might not be normal for you or other people. They have their own version of normal. So there's really no such thing as normal or fits in with society. Like we're all unique in our own way, and we really need to embrace that. I've learned to embrace it. I've stopped trying to please others. I was doing that a lot, and it made me unhappy as a person. Tapping into my power and taking control of my life has made a huge difference. I know it will for you guys, so that's what we're going to be talking about in this channel. A lot of it, like I said, I've researched. I grew up learning this stuff, and I've experienced this stuff firsthand. And I've talked with others who have experienced things firsthand. It's pretty interesting to see that there's too many coincidences for this to not be real. And again, it's totally up to you guys to decipher that for yourselves. But I will be interviewing special guests that I have planned and get their input on this stuff, and also see what kind of stories they have to tell us, because from what I've learned, there's a lot of people that have had weird encounters, weird coincidences, and some pretty amazing things happen in their life that's unexplainable. So it's gonna be fascinating to hear those stories, because it's not just coming from me, it's coming from many people. That's what I like to believe. If a lot of people are experiencing the same thing that they cannot explain, there has to be something more that we're not seeing. I feel like there's a lot going on in this world that we don't know about, and I'm excited to explore it. I have my telescope. I'm huge on the stars. I go stargazing every night if I can. I try to go out at least for a few minutes if I'm busy. But I like to take trips up to Sedona and here in Arizona, and take the telescope and go look at the stars, because it is phenomenal out there. The amount of stars that's in the night sky that we don't realize is just breathtaking. Going out there, turning off the lights, and just being in pitch black darkness, and looking up to the sky and seeing a sea of stars. It really makes you wonder what's going on in the universe, how all this came about, where it came from, who created it, why we're here, what's after this. I mean, I'm a very curious person. Ever since I was a kid, I've always had these questions, and I would always ask the questions. I'm like, where did this come from? How did this start? Like, what is all this? What are dreams? And that's the thing, is like, that's what's really got me into studying different spiritual practices, religions, is because I believe somewhere in these teachings, these stories, there has to be some truth behind it. And I do know, like, over time, like, man can kind of water things down for their own purposes, or for controlling purposes. That's why, like I said, I take what resonates. I don't believe everything that's out there. I don't believe everything that I read. I see what feels right and what makes sense. If I see a recurring theme throughout all these religions and spiritual practices, chances are they're onto something. One of the biggest things that I've discovered researching all this stuff is the power is within us. It really is. To learn to tap into that is amazing. You become so powerful, nothing will hold you back, and you can do some extraordinary things. Honestly, I'm still working on it myself. I have done a lot of extraordinary things, but I'll be honest with you. I've been going through some hard times, And you definitely have to have your focus. And these hard times distract me from my focus. I'm trying to get back into meditating more, clearing my mind. A lot of times I like to light a candle, just sit quietly with no distractions, and just focus on my breathing. It's really helped me a lot along my spiritual journey. When things start getting tough, which I know you're probably going through a few tough things yourself, you just have to stop. Like when you have the thoughts going and you start thinking that it's not going to get better, that what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Like, what's the point anymore? I give up. Like, I know you had those thoughts before. I've had them myself. I've thought numerous times, why do I keep trying? It's never going to happen. The bad thing with doing that is it does slow down your manifestations and your progress with creating the things that you want to create. Because just like anything, when you plant a seed, it's not instant that the plant grows. It's not instant that the baby's born when you have a baby. Like, it takes time. They call it the gestation period. I don't know if I said that right, but the gestation period. So it takes time for things to grow. You have to tend to it. You have to nurture it. You can't just plant it and then just neglect it and think that it's going to flourish into this big, beautiful plant. You know, like, you have to water the seed. You have to give it attention, love, focus. And honestly, I've had incidences where I neglected the manifestations that I planted, those seeds. Once I realized I did, I went back and I attended to them. I gave them as much love as I could. It's hard at first to stay focused because there's a lot of distractions in this world. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world. But honestly, once you realize that the distraction's distracting you from what you truly want, that's when you have the power to switch your focus. You kind of snap out of it. Because I've done that. I'd be scrolling on social media endlessly, and then I sit back and I'm like, why am I wasting my time on this? I could be focusing on what I'm trying to manifest. So then I close out of the social media app and I go to my journal and I start journaling what I'm trying to manifest. It's funny, when I do this, I actually see angel numbers. And we'll get into that more in detail, but a brief explanation on angel numbers is it's a sign from the universe or God or source, whatever you want to call it. There's no wrong way. But there's signs from the universe saying that you're in alignment. A big one is 1111. I see that almost every day. Like, I kid you not, like all the time. And it's a good feeling when I see these angel numbers. My favorite's actually 222. I love that one. 2 is actually my number. I've always said that since I was a kid. It's just been my, I don't know, since elementary school, I got my desk and it had our numbers on it, and I was assigned to 2, and I was like, it just felt right. I was like, 2's my number. And I've always seen 2s everywhere in my life. And it's a good number. And I believe 222, there's different variations of explanations for the angel numbers, but one of the ones that I truly resonate with is 222 is the message of love. I really resonate with that because when I was going through relationship problems, uncertainties, and feeling lonely, I would see 222 and it would reassure me and make me feel better. So that's what I associate 222 with. But again, you don't even have to look up the angel numbers to see a meaning behind it, a message. You can if you want. I did it for the longest time, but then I started thinking to myself, what am I feeling in this moment when I see these numbers? The biggest thing is I'm questioning myself. Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? And a lot of times I'd be doubting myself, and I would see these numbers, the angel numbers, and I'm like, and I just glance at the clock and see an angel number, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to be doubting myself. I am on the right path. I'm aligned. I just saw an angel number from the universe. The universe is guiding me in these moments of doubt. I definitely can't wait to get into talking about that, how to build a relationship with the universe, because I have to say, and I never did it expecting things from the universe. I wasn't like, oh, I'll be your friend so I can get things, like, no, I legitimately would talk to the universe. And, some people would say, oh, you're talking to yourself. I'm like, aren't we all? Like, we all do it. You catch yourself in the shower or cooking or driving, you're talking and there's nobody around. Like, people talk to themselves, but I would talk to the universe. I just built a friendship and I would just talk and ask for guidance. I would, say that I'm going through a difficult time. Can you please give me a sign to guide me or answer my question that I have? And I would always get those signs. The universe would reply and answer me. And it felt good knowing that somebody was there listening. Because a lot of times, like you guys probably experienced, that you feel kind of alone sometimes. Like you don't have somebody to talk to, especially about personal matters or things that are really deep to you. That's how I felt. I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I needed a friend to talk to. When I turned to the universe was listening. The universe was my friend. So I made it a point to talk to the universe regularly when I realized that the universe was listening to me. It felt good. The few times that something really, really bad in my life happened, I did turn to the universe, my friend, and I asked for help, just like all friends do. You need help moving, you need help with relationship problems, you need help staying on your diet plan or whatever, like, I don't know. Just like you turn to a friend for help. The universe has always been there for me, and when I asked for help in those situations, I wasn't doubting it, but I kind of was like, okay, well, we'll see if anything can happen. The universe answered every time. And like I said, I don't want to abuse that friendship. I don't want to constantly be asking for something and be greedy, because that's not a true friendship. A friendship is a give and take. And I try to talk with the universe, and I know it sounds kind of stupid, but like maybe the universe is bored and the universe is lonely. Like nobody actually tries to have a conversation with the universe. So that's what I do. I try to talk to the universe, say what I'm going through, even though the universe already knows, but it's just the fact that I'm acknowledging that I'm talking to the universe and engaging instead of just going about my life and ignoring the universe. You can build your own family. You can build your own friends. You decide who's in your life and for how long. And when you start cutting ties with people that don't serve you, who bring you down, or who's negative in your life, and start replacing with good people, you feel so much better. You feel more energized, you feel more uplifted, you feel motivated. Growing up, I surrounded myself with a lot of people that were very draining and negative, just constantly complaining or talking badly of somebody else. And I'm an empath, so I feel things very strongly. I was very sensitive to it. It would make me feel very bad. I would feel sick sometimes. I would feel depressed. Something's off. And when I finally decided to stop being around those people and distance myself from them, it started to shift. And then when I started meeting people like me who were uplifting and fun and funny, and I like to think I'm funny, by the way, but it's for you guys to decide. But I would try to surround myself with people who were like-minded with me. And when I did that, I started feeling amazing. I started feeling so much better. And I like to think that the universe is one of those people that I surrounded myself with. I started to really tap into that friendship, acknowledging the friendship and building it and developing this bond with somebody somebody, something that would really do good in my life. And I'm very happy that it did, because like I said, I've had so many incidences where people have hurt me in the past. It really got to my head, and it made me question who I was as a person. That, am I good enough? Would people care if I was still here? Things like that. And I really didn't like that. I didn't like getting into my head like that. But I think that had to happen. I think that had to happen to put me closer to building this relationship with the universe and tapping into my power, because like I said in the beginning of this video, we are all sparks of the universe. It's actually funny because, again, science has a way of slowly catching up to what religion or spiritual practices have been saying for thousands and thousands of years. Science is just now stepping up and discovering these things. And one of the things is they said that our bodies are made up of the essence of the cosmos, which is the same thing as saying we are sparks of the universe. Like, we are the universe. When you realize that, it changes your perspective. Like, it really shifts everything into, okay, I have the same matter in me that makes up a star. I have the same matter in me that makes up planets. Like, what does that mean on a grander scale? It means we are all one. And if we are all one, we are all one with the one. So it's crazy to think that we are each pieces of the universe, living our own separate lives, having our own personalities, our own quirks and style. Like, you know, I got my hair, you know, like doing these videos. Like, we are all the same. We're all the same essence of the universe. We all just chose to live separate lives, but we're all connected. I find that fascinating, and I've discovered that through my spiritual journey, that everything is connected. Everything's like a ripple. You know, like they say that, what is that, the butterfly effect, that it sends a ripple. It's because everything's connected. And when you learn that, it's insane what else you can learn, because that itself is probably one of the coolest things that I've ever learned, that we're all connected. We're connected with the pets, we're connected with plants, we're connected with the earth, the sun, just everything. It really opens up the possibilities of what else is out there that we don't know. So I continue every day to learn these things and expand my knowledge. I'm wanting to share that with you guys because I find this stuff so fascinating. I hope you do too, because that's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be manifesting, it's going to be spirituality, it's going to be supernatural, it's going to be witchy stuff, it's going to be scary stories, it's going to be unexplainable stories, it's going to be a lot of positivity. And like I said, it's going to help you guys tap into your power, because when I learned how to do that, it was the best thing I ever learned in my life. I was so grateful that I learned it, that I discovered it. I feel like that's what I should be doing in life, is giving back and teaching others how to take control of their lives and make the most of it. Because they always say, oh, you only get one life, so why sit around and watch TV or play video games or do something that you don't want to do for a majority of your life? Why not get out there and do stuff that you want to do? Why not experience the things you want to experience? I've already experienced a lot of things that I've always wanted to do. I'm manifesting more experiences, so I'm excited for those to come about. And that's what's nice about the universe. The universe always surprises you, so don't be surprised when things pop up in your life that you weren't expecting, or it's a happy coincidence. Like, the universe likes to surprise you, because you think, oh, it's going to happen this way at this time, and this person, and this is going to happen. Like, you're trying to plan out what's going to happen in your life, Just wait until you sit back and let the universe surprise you, because the universe has infinite possibilities on how to make something happen in your life. You are kind of limited on like, oh, I've seen this before, or I've heard about this, like this might be fun. But the universe has created everything. You, me, this video, just everything. And that's what I like to think, because I've heard videos where they talk about that. Like, it's not a coincidence you came across this video, that the universe sent you here. This is the message from the universe. And honestly, when people say that, like right when they say it, I think it's true, because I've had incidences where I was questioning, like, is this really a message for me? I don't know. And then they're like, the universe is sending you this message. I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is my message, because it flat out said it right after I asked that question and was questioning it. So how do you explain that? So I'm pretty excited to get into all those stories and everything, but I don't know how long this video has been going on for, probably a while, so I don't want to keep you guys too long, because that's what the next videos are for, is when we really dive into this stuff. But I do want to say that I'm excited for this, and I really hope it makes a positive impact in your life, because that's what I want to do. I want to spread love and positivity and upliftment to others, because even if one person benefits from all of this work that I put into that, that's enough for me. I wish it was more, but as long as I impact one person's life, I'm happy, because somebody's impacted my life and I want to pass it forward, or pay it forward, however I think it's pay it forward. But I wanted to be able to do that, pass it along. That inspirational message that just might help somebody who really needs the help. But I know all of you guys are looking forward to improving your lives as well. There's probably little things here and there that you would like to change, and I want to tell you how to do that and teach you these really cool tricks. And it's like magic, even though it's not, because we are source, we're the universe, so we have the ability to create. I appreciate your guys' support, because again, this is something I've always wanted to do, and to be able to put my message out there makes me happy. It really does. When I've had people encounter me at events or out on the street who have seen my other videos, when they tell me how much of a positive impact it's made on their life, I was just blown away. I felt so honored to be a part of a series of events that put them on a good path. Because we need people like that. We need people that are going to help each other and motivate each other, instead of trying to bring each other down or fight each other all the time. Because, like you'll come to learn in my videos, I don't like negativity. I don't like conflict. I don't like fighting. I always try to keep the peace. I just want to spread love. And honestly, love's the most powerful energy in the universe, and we all crave love. We do. So why not pay it forward and show someone some love? I'm really happy to get this out there. I know I keep saying this, I sound like a broken record at this point, but like I said, I don't know how long the video's been going on for, but you know, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it so far. I'll look for my next videos. I'm going to be talking, like I said, I'm going to probably do different categories. So I'll do like different sections. I'll be interviewing people. I'll be teaching you guys manifesting abilities, teaching you some Wiccan practices that I've learned that are actually healing and helpful. And it's all nature-based, so like it's all good things. And that's what I want to have this channel be about, is good things and positivity and upliftment, love, excitement, mystery, and a little bit of adventure. I just want to wish you guys a great rest of your day, and remember, you have the power within you to do anything that you want to do. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise.